Earlier today, President Trump seen here stumbling, going up a flight of stairs, getting ready to board Air Force One. Is this going to hurt him politically? Hi, welcome to the Communiverse. I'm your host, TJ Walker. This is the program where we analyze things just like this to figure out, is it going to have an impact on an organization, on a career, on an individual, or is it something that just floats away? Now, in this particular case, obviously of great interest to the president's detractors because so much was made of the fact that the previous president, Joe Biden, fell down repeatedly on steps and fell down biking. And it was all a part of this theme that Joe Biden was too old. The Democrats, of course, said, no, that's nonsense. Joe Biden's not old. He's young and fit and healthy and active. The Republicans said, Joe Biden just doesn't seem like he's quite got it to be president anymore. And then the debate came out last year, and the whole world sort of concluded at the same time Joe Biden was too old to be president. And little things like these stumbles were relevant. Now, how does this play out here? Certainly, there are a lot of Democrats saying, well, we're loving this. And they are playing this video clip over and over and over again to score points and say, ha ha, you too. That's not why I'm playing it, but it is significant in that it is getting coverage and it does show some vulnerability. I mean, the president is only a little more than a year away from 80 years old. At that point, he's already the second oldest president. He's the oldest president ever at this stage of a presidency. So it is an issue. There is a growing chorus across the political spectrum that the United States should enact some kind of maximum age. There's a minimum age. You can't run for president if you're not at least 35 years of age. So you could be 34, the most brilliant, accomplished person in the world. There is an arbitrary age limit. You're not eligible for president. There are many these days, including the pundit Scott Galloway, suggesting perhaps an upper limit of 75. You just can't be president if you're older than 75 years old. Now, that is not going to, as a practical matter, going to be any constitutional amendment passing in the next 3 years and 8 months left of President Trump's term. It's not going to have an impact on him. Here's what I think, and I'm being fair and objective here. Here's what I think is working in Trump's favor. According to many reports, I can't verify this, but he has taken Ozempic or Wegovy or one of those drugs, and he certainly appears to be 20 pounds lighter. In his most recent physical released by the White House, said that he had indeed lost 20 pounds. To my own eye, he looks much thinner, therefore healthier, therefore younger and more vigorous. That may be fair, may be unfair, but he does have that going in his favor. Now, to President Trump's detractors, when they hear him speak, to their ears, he sounds like someone who already is suffering dementia. And again, I'm not here a doctor. I'm here as a communications expert. I've been a media trainer to presidents of countries, not the United States, but presidents of countries, prime ministers, Nobel Peace Prize winners around the globe, members of parliament. So I have to deal with this on the other side sometimes with crises. And I could tell you the president's opponents, those who are not philosophical believers in what he stands for, already think and have thought this for years, that he was suffering from Alzheimer's, dementia, that he sounded crazy. Certainly when you look at a diagram of sentences that come out of his mouth, it's not structured in a logical, flowing way, the way, for example, messages that came out of Barack Obama's mouth or Bill Clinton's mouth. Very different. However, to his supporters, I happen to believe, my analysis is that he still comes across as a very youthful 78-year-old because he has energy in his voice. One of the things that hurt Joe Biden so much is he lost all the volume in his voice. So when you heard him speak, it came across almost like a whisper. Whereas Donald Trump still has full range of his voice. He's able to go up in volume, up in pitch, up in speed, and down. There's tremendous variation. And while he's never been a fan of athletic pursuits or physical fitness, he's certainly, again, to my eye, and I'm not a doctor, but neither are most voters, he doesn't seem like he's visibly slowed down. When Joe Biden walked, he seemed so slow. He seemed more like a 95-year-old grandpa in a retirement home. Whereas Donald Trump, plenty of things you could say about him physically that might not appeal to you, but he doesn't seem to be slower or more infirm or aged than men 10, 15, maybe even 20 years younger than he is. So my prediction is this is a one-day story. It goes away unless it starts happening more frequently. Because when you are the president, you are in the spotlight every single day, almost every second of the day. So people will be watching. So that's my take on how this falls out. Again, if he doesn't do this often, it's not going to be a big deal. If he starts falling more, there's other signs of age, or he has any moments kind of like Mitch McConnell did, you may remember a year or two ago, where all of a sudden he was mid-sentence, froze for a couple of minutes, and appeared to have a mini stroke. If that happens, then there may be more and more people calling for the Constitution to be invoked and the installation of the vice president. But I think we are a long way from that. What do you think? Go ahead and post your comments right here. I would love to hear from you. Again, I'm TJ Walker. This is the Communiverse.